So you don't look 6'2". Are you shrinking down more like my size now? How's 5'5" sound to you? You gonna sit on some books, Grimmer? Perfect. I think that's necessary. What's that book right there? Can I see it? Oh my goodness. You know, I didn't even know we owned this book.
We've been packing it around.
It's a Terry Pratchett.
Is it?
Equal Rights. Look, there's a witch on the front. Look at that. I forgot we had this book. I mean, wow. I love a good Terry Pratchett novel. Do you remember this one?
No. I just know I've been moving it from bookshelf to bookshelf for the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 years now.
This did not go to Washington with us.
You don't think?
I know it did not.
Well, it looks real familiar.
Published in 1987, right at the height of your Terry Pratchett.
Teen witch phase. Maybe that's what I'm recognizing. It's just this book's been part of.
That could be.
My folklore.
That is possible.
What do we got?
Hey folks, how are you? It's Gussy and Grymm. Hello, 420-ish tea and tarot. Got my tea in my mason jar. Got my tarot cards here ready to go. And got my Grymm for keeping things real.
Did we change the date?
Did we?
Just don't move your head, and nobody will know.
Does it say the 25th?
Yeah.
Aw, I'm bummed. I thought about it before we went live.
You want me to go fix it?
Does that count? Let's see, because if I move... Yeah, you better go change it.
All right. I know at least one person who's watching who will notice, and you got to fix it for just that reason alone, maybe.
That is true. So how are you all? It's so good to have you here with us. It is Friday after all, y'all, and Friday is always good because typically that means we get at least, 2 nights off without having to worry about waking up super early in the morning the next day. I don't know, maybe you work on the weekends, and for that I apologize if that's the case. But for the majority of us, oh, thank you, Grymm, just what we need, a skeleton key.
Laying on the floor.
Yes, not? It fell out of the pink lotus blossom. We need to get a new candle for the pink lotus blossom. I noticed as I sat down here today that the little tea light we use in there has burned down to almost nothing. So
time to make some new ones.
Yeah, we need to get on the ball with that, I think. So it's an As the Crow Flies day, which means this conversation could go in any direction at any time.
Let's ask the crowd which direction they want it to go.
Yeah.
We've got 11 people here. Susan, Michelle, she says, good to see you guys. Hello. Christy Reed says hello. Victoria Williams says hi.
Cheryl
Vandenberg, hello. Susan is laughing, I'm assuming about the calendar date, and she's the one that would notice.
Yes.
Kimmy King, Shelley Brown.
Hello. If you're out there, say something in the comments, please.
And today is as the crow flies a little bit, and we didn't really put any thought into what that meant for today even. So what do you think?
No, because we've been busy.
Oh boy.
As bees lately, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
We've been busy, and things have been going in a really good way. Just kind of, we're going with the flow as much as possible.
Man, that phrase has been popping up a lot lately.
Not just between us?
Not just between us.
That's cool.
It was given to me as a bit of advice yesterday from someone. It was on a documentary that I was watching. And there was something else. And then the talks that you and I have had on here about going with the flow.
Right, and I think a number of our Root and Read folks that we've had meetings with, that's our mentorship program that we do.
Mm-hmm.
I think that topic has come up a few times about going with the flow. And we talk about it in here quite a bit because it means not like blocking yourself. It doesn't mean closing yourself off. It means getting involved, but safely involved. It doesn't mean getting carried away down the river, banged against the banks, and getting pummeled against the rocks.
No, you still have an oar.
Yep, you still need to have some control about which direction you're flowing and which pace you're going at. But
have you ever been in a whitewater rapid?
I've been canoeing in rough waters.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been in those where it's like you have to sign a waiver for your life. No, I've not. Have you done that?
Purposely and accidentally. I've been involved in various whitewater adventures or aggressive river adventures.
Right.
But what I was just thinking when we said going with the flow and bouncing off the rocks and banks and whatnot, one of the things that I learned about, I'm going to use the Dungeness River as an example because I grew up there and I learned to make the Dungeness River part of my everyday life, was when it was running rapid and the waters were just churning. The rains had poured up in the mountains or the snow had melted, whatever it was. I could still safely play in that river anywhere I wanted because I understood that there was more than one current in the channel. There was more than one flow within the flow. So I would watch the river and see where the tree branches were going. The detritus always follows the path of least resistance. It's just going to go. Watch that, and then you can get into the raging torrent of the river and still be relatively safe and in control. And I think that applies to our mundane and magical lives as well. There's more than one current within the flow of the river.
That's a helpful thing to bear in mind because I think that might actually help a few folks. When you think about that river, part of it might be, I know for me, I have so many irons in the fire. And when I think about getting in the flow, honestly, one river kind of lazily rolling through feels a little limiting to me. I like the idea of several currents at once. There's this underlying current that's kind of doing its thing, and there's this kind of lazy current over here, and more of a tumultuous one on the edge by the rocks. And I like that idea.
And from the standpoint of just taking it a little bit further, peoples that grew up and lived their lives, built their villages and societies along rivers, here in North America, South America, Europe, wherever, the formula was always the same. They always put their docks or their places where they would come to shore in the backwaters, in the cool eddies, in the channels that allowed them to reach safely to shore, to get rested, reprovisioned, and then back into the flow they go again to the next safe harbor that they had already established as part of their roadmap to where they were going. So villages popped up in those little safe harbors. Community.
Right. You're actually, it's funny, my mind went to two different places when you said that. One was, I really want to talk about the movie we watched last night. But also, I'm writing about creating crystal grids. And it's a crystal grid for protection of your home. And I was trying to come up with a way, I'm like, you're the wordsmith. I struggle a little more with I'm great at rhyming, but making the words just kind of I don't flow as much as you do with the words. The woods. But I was working on a crystal grid description. And as you were talking about the little towns that pop up and they form this larger community, it made me think of the crystals that I'm trying to figure out how to tell people to put a crystal in each of the four corners of their home, north, south, east, west, depending on where that is. And if it's not a corner, you just got to kind of make it a corner.
Not necessarily corner, but quarter.
Well,
as close to a corner within the quarter as you can get.
As close to a corner within the quarter, yes. Yes. Within the quadrant of north, a corner.
Yes.
Within the quadrant of south, a corner, or something similar. Or
yeah.
Carve a space out and put, crystals there. It's hard for me to put that into words. But as you were talking about, each one of these communities being connected, that's the last step in making the crystal grid, besides recharging it once a month, is connecting them all. Boom, boom, boom. Like from one grid to one crystal to the next. Right. I'm going to ask you to help me. Yeah. I'm going to ask you to help me write that when we're done, because I've been struggling for a while.
I'll have fun with that one.
You will, won't you?
Yes, I will. I don't know how we got onto the subject of crystal grids just now. Where were we at?
Well, we were talking about that community thing.
Oh, yeah.
Which leads right into the movie that we both last night said.
Oh, my God.
We both said that we have got to talk about this movie. It was from 2007. We're surprised that we didn't. What? Who died? I get a feeling. Well, actually, it's a smell that someone. Well, Brandon. I don't know if any purple door witches. I don't know of any that are so ill that they're crossing the Rainbow Bridge, but I do know that our dear sister Cheryl Vandenberg here, I know she's here with us today, her pup Echo is not doing well physically and is I think coming to a close of that chapter. So you're probably feeling that, because
could be.
I wanted to say something to Cheryl anyways, and our hearts go out to you, because we know that pain, and it's not an easy space to be in.
It is the most helpless, hopeless feeling. But that feeling comes along with the balance of it, a lifetime of joy and happiness and love and commitment and companionship.
Yeah, so these are the times to focus on those positives.
Huh? Yes. Remember the memories.
So this movie, and I feel remiss that we don't know the name of the movie, because I was trying to talk to Christine about it today. I was talking to Christine and Mist.
All right, everybody, get your search engine fingers ready.
Yeah, get your ready to go. It was a Ryan Gosling movie from 2007. And there was another well-known actor. I just can't remember his name. I just know he was in one of the American Horror Story. I think he was in the first one, the one about the Hollywood house where the the queer fellows live. But it was such a good movie, and we both.
I'm so stuck trying to remember the name that I'm losing the movie.
Well, Ryan Gosling, it opens. He's an adult, and he is living in the garage of a much larger farmhouse where his brother and sister-in-law live.
Oh, that's right.
And you find out that their parents are both dead, so they inherited the house, and then the story unfolds. And we don't want to tell you too much about it.
But he falls in love, and the whole community just supports him so beautifully in that love.
It's not even just love, it's shadow work.
Oh, that's
purest. It is shadow work, and the whole community supports him in such a loving way that you gotta do yourself a favor,
Gussy,
and watch that movie. I don't know what it's called.
Try and find the name.
Somebody please Google it.
What I'll say to it though is the main plot behind the whole thing really goes hand in hand with what you and I call going under the tent. creating a community of people that can get together.
Susan's got it. Lars and the Real Girl.
Yes.
Lars and the Real Girl. Watch that one. It is so good.
I so recommend that. It is the truest definition of community supporting you through shadow work.
We're
getting
gonna
it done.
We're gonna watch it again, aren't we?
Oh gosh, yes.
We don't do that very often.
It's a damn good movie.
It really is.
And there's aspects of it I know I didn't quite grab because I was so busy
thinking about what just happened.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the scene 4 minutes ago.
Yeah, yeah, it was really good.
It was a fantastic movie.
And what I loved about Ryan Gosling too is he always kind of plays the pretty boy. I mean, I believe he was Ken in the Barbie movie. He was the love interest in The Notebook. You know, he's a good-looking man and very charismatic. And but in this particular film, he looks geeky, and he plays it well. He plays it well. And
he looks like the
uncomfortable, unsettled.
Yeah, he doesn't quite fit.
Yep. It's a wonderful movie. So you guys should watch it. Lars and the Real Girl. We found it on Paramount Plus.
Is that where it was?
I think so.
God, if there was a way to watch party that would be so much fun.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Virtual get together.
I know other people do watch parties. Why can't we do watch parties?
Well, we can. We just got to figure out how.
That'll take us a year. Oh, so how's your Friday going? How's your Friday going?
Kimmy King guessed the name of the movie to be Half Nelson. I haven't heard of that one.
Me either. I have to check that one out.
I have to check that one out. You know, as you're shuffling the cards, I'm thinking about that movie that we watched, and it takes me to other movies and TV series that, though we don't base our spirituality off of the movies, off of Hollywood, so many of the concepts, the spiritual ideas that they're portraying in these roles, in these movies, resonate so well with where we're at or where we're wanting to go.
Well, you know, I have two thoughts on that. One is that the people that were the writers, the producers of the shows, are forward thinking and probably tapping into their own, you know,
highest
awareness of some other possibilities. The other thing is soft disclosure. Like through our media, I think the powers that be let us know things that are about to happen, or they try to get us used to the concept through this
something that's coming down the pike. But this movie doesn't fit that formula of the apocalypse or any of that stuff. It fits the formula of a director, a producer, a writer, and a cast that were all truly committed to getting the message across to be there for each other.
Yeah, it was great.
It was. And so many movies that we watch do that.
You know, another movie that has touched our lives that I know we used to talk about it quite a bit when we started doing live streams, but we haven't mentioned it in a while. But talk about facing fear of death and also understanding it a little bit more. The movie What Dreams May Come.
Oh, facing grief.
Oh, yeah.
Facing love. Facing loss and fear. That one hits all the major shadow triggers, I think.
Right. Plus, it's a Robin Williams movie, and, you know, God, I don't know anybody that wasn't really a Robin Williams fan. You know, he was just such a lovable person, and to know that he struggled as much as he did with his mental health, you know, it doesn't surprise me in the least bit.
Well, I think he was one of those personalities that what joys were brought into his life, he gave back out to the world faster than he could bring back in.
Ooh, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
He would magnify the joys so other people would get so much.
Yep, he was an amplifier.
Yeah.
That's true.
A lot of the good ones were self-destructive.
You want to draw a card for the
group? Yeah, I noticed one didn't do a jump, and I was getting ready to ask if I should pick one for you. So I'm going to close my eyes and say, Mother, Father, God, Goddess, all the divine beings, crystalline energies, animal allies, plant allies, and vibrate any vibrations that serve our greatest and highest good. Please guide the words that we're about to speak. May them be spoken clearly and loudly. May they be spoken with understanding for those that need to hear them. And with that said, this is the card that we're going to pick for today.
All right. Do you want to read it?
Oh gosh. Let me just
you don't get to choose. That's not how reading works.
It's not?
You don't get
but you got to look at, oh, but you're already committed to reading it before you even look at it. I get it. Okay, fine. Fine. I will read it.
You're going to accept this challenge?
I will accept this challenge.
It's a good one. It's reversed today.
If it's not an arc, I got it.
It's okay. It's okay.
I know.
You got to think about what wands means. It is the 9 of Wands in the reverse position. Grymm scratching his head.
One of the reasons that I wanted to look over your shoulder and peek at the card before I committed to reading it or not is so many times during 420 Tarot, whatever card gets pulled inevitably yanks my chain in some way, shape, or form, either in a good way or a bad way. Somehow the card gets my attention.
Mm-hmm.
Over the last 48 hours or so, I've been really trying to focus on slowing down.
You've mentioned that.
There's a chain of events that have been going on in my life for the last, if I were to be completely honest with myself, the greater portion of my life, this particular thing comes and goes in waves. Sometimes I'll go weeks and months without it being a problem, and sometimes it's a problem daily. From my perspective, 9 of Wands reversed. At least give you a chance to eyeball it, right? 9 of Wands reversed. I don't know about you guys, but when patterns start to reveal themselves to me, my first response is to resist any magical implication that the pattern could imply. Let's be honest,
You're the skeptic.
I'm the skeptic, I'm the mundane, I'm the werewolf. I got my claws dug into the ground, and anything magical is, I'll look at it, analyze it. Consider it.
And I'm up there going, look at that, that's so magical. Wow, look at that.
So a pattern has to become quite obvious in my life before I have to finally break down and say, okay, where's the freaking message here? And this has been going on most of my life, and that is I will set my car keys down, my wallet down, my hat down, my jacket down, my boots down, and be mindful of where I placed them for the most part. Do I have a routine, a pattern of where this is where my car keys goes, this is where my wallet goes, this is where my boots go? Unfortunately, Gussy's been trying to get me to establish that habit for 20 odd years now. Trying. To various levels of success. Sometimes.
I was going to say.
My point being, I will set my car keys down mindfully, knowing where I place them, knowing that in 10 minutes I'll need them again because I'm getting ready to leave the house, and I'll go to retrieve the keys, and goddamn it, they're gone. And while I'm looking for the keys, I'll find the wallet that I lost a week earlier. But in finding the wallet and looking for the car keys, I'll set my vape pen down, trying to move some stuff around and forget where exactly I set it down. And now, goddamn it, my vape pen's lost, my keys lost, and my wallet. Well, I finally found that, but I canceled all the cards, and I got new cards coming, and now, Jesus Christ, what's going on? The next day, I'll find the car keys, the wallet, the vape pen, put them all in my pocket, go out to the car to go to town, and the goddamn battery's dead. Well, now here's another 45 minutes to an hour of getting things sorted out to get the car jump started and get my chores taken care of, and the whole time I'm bitching and moaning. I've got better things to do. Juggling everything. And now they're throwing more shit at me, and my wands, that's what, my magic and my mundane. Throwing them all up in the fucking there, and I'm just getting agitated now. But I got the car jump started. I'm into town. I'm taking care of what I need to take care of. I go into the pharmacy to get the pills that I need, and god dang it, they need a copy of my friggin' insurance card, which I had taken out of my wallet, hence why I lost my wallet, so I can take a look at the insurance card. And I set it down on the table, and when I needed to find my wallet so I can put the insurance card in it, by the time I found the wallet, I forgot about the insurance card, and I got to go back home. More juggling.
I have to actually hide things. If I want them to stay in one place, I hide them. I love you.
Now the whole time
You're like Merlin, with all his stuff like spinning around in his little hut.
The whole time I've got Gussy in the background. The Fae are trying to tell you something, Grymm. Have you talked to the Fae, Grymm? I don't want to talk to the Fae. They're taking my shit. Hey, Grymm, have you left them an offering? I'm not going to leave them an offering until they give me back my shit. Hey, Grymm, they're trying to tell you something. Have you thought to think maybe that you should be thinking about what they're trying to tell you? Fuck what they're trying to tell me. They can do this without taking my wallet. And then, after much resistance, I realized that the reason the things are getting lost isn't because the Fae are taking them from me. They're not hiding them from me. They're telling me, slow down. You're juggling too many things. And no matter how many things you have to juggle, there's only so much time that you can commit to any one of them. So how about commit the time when it's the most productive in that moment to that event?
That's a good idea.
Still haven't found my fucking keys, though.
Nope. It was a good read on that card. Good job.
It's kind of hard to juggle your wands when they're all upside down in a jumble.
Yeah, it's hard to figure out which wand you need.
Yeah.
You got to dig through the rubble every time.
You got to dig through the rubble and the chaos every time, and yeah.
It's kind of like the difference between like putting your shoes away in pairs or just tossing them all into a pile in the closet. Because then when you want to wear that particular boot or shoe or whatever, and you got to find its mate,
you got to dig through
you got to dig through the pile. But if you kept them organized in the first place, it just reduces some stress.
Yeah.
So.
And that, I think that's what it is, in all honesty. It's not that the Fae is taking one of the shoes out of the pile and hiding it in the laundry room somewhere other than where you wanted it. What they're trying to tell you is, hey, you got a little chaos here.
Got some chaos that you can control.
That you can control.
Right.
So why don't you get your shoes in a row, and I won't take them. That'll give you time to go sniff a flower, look at a cloud, say hi to a bird, pet the dog, instead of rummaging through your chaos.
Yeah, because that takes a lot of energy.
Yeah.
You know, it really does. I told somebody yesterday, they're going through this, like, you know, some trials and tribulations, and we were talking about going into fear, because when you go into your fear about the outcome of things, when you really let yourself go into fear, you're wasting a lot of energy.
Yeah.
You're wasting energy that you could be focusing on your next best step. Okay, we know the going is going to be rough. Knowing that it's going to be rough, what can we do to prevent, or at least make it less rough on ourselves? What can we do to make it a little easier flow, if you will? And a lot of times we don't. We just run around feeling frustrated. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, this is going to happen. And we really just expend energy. We don't take our next best step. We fret and stew and shake,
and we create our own chain of events of chaos in the process. We're running late for work and we're frantic about it. We're behind the wheel, herky jerky, and hitting every red light, and people are cutting us off, and pretty soon we're so frantic that we're actually creating some of the very chaos that is slowing us down.
Those are the days when, you know, especially when I used to work. Those are the days when I was running late, or there was some kind of a challenge that way.
Right.
That I would drop my mascara down into the space that I couldn't reach, you know, and so I'd be,
oh yeah, because the universe is giving back exactly what you're putting out there.
Yeah, it is funny.
If you put out chaotic energy, you're going to get back chaotic energy.
That's exactly right.
This is the beauty behind the pause for peace, by the way, and I think if you're putting out chaotic energy, thought, and vibration, you're going to receive chaotic energy, thought, and vibration in return. Right. You put out love and light and sharing, you're going to get a modicum of that back in return. But here's the beauty. If you just let the energy pass through, this is for pausing for peace, meditation, looking for those calm times, let the energy pass through you neutrally. So that way in the future, you are in control of what you're putting out there. More pointed, more direct, more capable of focusing on what you're trying to manifest. So in those moments of peace, just let that energy wash through you. Scrub you clean, yes, but let it get neutralized as it's coming out. Am I making sense on that one?
Yeah, because we talk about that a lot. Remember,
well, we talk about being neutral. It is neutral.
The exhale breath.
But I mean,
what you let go of.
What you
neutralizes.
Let go of. But
because you don't need it anymore.
You don't need it anymore. But I sometimes forget the correlation of what we put out there, we will have put right back in. That's how a vacuum works. That's how a circle works.
Yeah, but you're letting go of the energy that doesn't serve you anymore.
Right.
But you don't send it out with a veracity of angst and anger. You know, that if you were putting fuck you energy out into that, then that's what you're gonna get back. But if you're peacefully breathing in, you know, this exchange of white light healing energy and letting go of the negative stuff that you don't need, neutralizing it as you let it go, sending it out with some peace, love, and harmony, a little bit of intention there to, you know, counterbalance the darkness out there right now.
When it comes back at you, it's neutral energy that you can mold and shape into your desires, not the desires of the emotion.
That's deep. Tis deep, tis deep.
Brandon says when shit starts to go wrong, he just has to kind of laugh and move on.
Speaking of growling, how many folks howled at the full moon last night? It was the wolf moon. I didn't howl as loudly as I'd like to.
I howled with Cowley kind of in the front yard, but you know that neighbor across the street, he gives me the heebie.
I know.
He was vacuuming his porch.
Yeah, and he stares over here all the time.
Yeah.
So I know
he was vacuuming his porch.
But so I'm thinking that what we're going to have to do is in the springtime when it's a little warmer, we'll have a gathering and we'll do a howl, maybe down by the water or something like that.
I like that. I like that. And I
I
don't mind carving out a spot in the backyard here, really, and having a spot. But in all honesty, when I went outside last night to howl, I had Callie with me, and
it was
it,
raining.
it was raining.
I know.
But, I'm okay with that to a degree. I got to be out there anyway. And I start to howl. I get myself built up to get one going, and I look across the street, and there's that guy sweeping or vacuuming his porch.
Yeah, I know.
And about every 10 seconds, he's looking up across the street at me, and he's back to vacuuming his porch. And I just didn't. I thought,
Tonight's not the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way too. I didn't go all the way outside. I was on the back porch, but I also wasn't sure if I would scare a great or not. Because like I didn't pre-warn anybody that
Yeah.
you might hear this howling noise. And and she's old, and I don't want to like rock the boat with her. So we need to.
You know what was so beautiful though? I didn't get to howl, but I got to see the church from a perspective I haven't noticed before.
What's that?
It was dark, but there was so much rain that it was cascading down the corners, down the walls, dripping off the ivy. It was a waterfall of water coming off the front porch area, and it just looked so magical.
That's
so
cool.
The glow coming out of the stained glass windows that were lit up through the rain, it was gorgeous.
That's
really
cool.
enjoyed it.
I should have gone all the way out. I didn't though. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm not scolding myself. I'm just saying I miss our howls. And for those of you that don't know, we used to organize like campouts where we would gather and our coven would gather for a howl. And the first time we did it, I mean, literally all of us were like, oh, oh.
Wasn't that fun?
Yeah, oh, wow, I'm really letting go. Oh. But over the course of doing it a few times together, collectively.
Just as you're saying that, though, Kimmy King had put this in there.
What's that?
Maybe I could talk my son into letting us have a camp out and a fire and collective howl at one of the summer full moons.
Oh, yes. Grymm and I will be there for it. We love doing that. We host those ourselves from time to time.
Well, we have to.
Some ancestors think that's a great idea.
We have to be honest. We haven't really hosted any kind of outdoor.
Like a feral event.
Yeah, we haven't hosted any camping events at all since we've been to Michigan. But I think it's time we start exploring that with a little more veracity.
And you too.
Camping's fun, especially from a hotel.
I was going to say, camping is fun as long as you're not doing it 365 days in a bus.
Yeah. Well, closer to 700.
Boy, those little peppermint candies are good.
They are, but man, that bowl's got none of the caramels in it.
I know, honey.
Somebody
you gotta let that go.
stole the caramels.
Why don't you just buy some more?
Because you don't see them around here outside of
the holidays.
Yeah. That was mean of. I know why they did it. You can
still get Werthers, but they're the little hard candies that you gotta suck on.
Yeah, these are the soft, chewy ones. I like, but I do like the hard ones too.
Those are good.
But no, I know why whoever did it, because those are the best dang candies you can get outside of the chocolate-covered cherries. Which I got robbed on this year too.
You did. You didn't.
Man,
I didn't even see any this year. Well, I didn't do a whole lot of Christmas shopping
I didn't pay a lot of attention, but man, I got robbed out of both my favorite candies this year.
Life's rough, honey.
It is, and I just have something to look forward to next year. Pre-order now.
Brandon says, I remember howling at Fairy World to find other members of the group in the darkness. Yeah, we used to, I think you guys have heard us talk about, we used to have, we used to howl every night at 8 p.m. on our front deck of our covenstead. And it started to be around that same time, there were several other homes, two others, that would howl in at the same time. They'd howl like in unison.
Call and response.
Yeah, it was really cool. This was in Port Townsend, so
one of them was across the valley a good mile
yeah,
away.
it was at least a mile away. So it took a minute to hear it, but it was like an echo. But it was cool.
Yeah, loved it.
It was cool. Um, so yes, I want to say about camping. Grymm and I, one of our big goals, we almost pulled it off last summer, but things just kind of fell apart. We would love to host a Purple Door camping something or other. We were shooting last year for midsummer and for like a midsummer gathering and ritual, but that didn't quite work out. But we would love to do that, because if we could find a location that's sort of central that people from that area that our Purple Door witches could collect at, wouldn't that be wonderful?
We're trying to think of some place that's within a 2-hour drive of, you know, Illinois, Ohio, Michigan. Trying, get a radius around there, somewhere within that would give everybody within that area an opportunity to attend if we can pull it off.
But even other parts of the country, if you know.
Oh, you're talking about the greater Purple Door gatherings.
I mean, we'd like to. That's one of our visions that we have eventually, is that there will be Purple Door gatherings hither and yon around the country. We'd even love it if. Well, I won't talk about that. I have dreams, guys. I've got dreams. I can see this Purple Door thing growing and glowing, and it just warms my heart.
We get to paint our door purple this spring.
I can't wait.
It'll be about darn time.
It's been a minute. Well, the door on the bus is purple, but it's not the same. We haven't actually had a proper purple door
in a minute.
So.
Deb Kirkland found chocolate-covered blueberries.
Ooh, yeah, that would be good.
That's a thing.
Jane loves to camp.
Speaking of chocolate, I've got to tell you, I got a hankering for that chocolate ice cream with the butter pecan mix. Oh my God, that was so good. I want some now.
Grymm, are you hungry, honey?
I'm high.
Oh. All right, y'all. We're going to conclude with that statement, because I've got some things to get done today. And we've got a meeting in a little while.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let y'all go. Grymm and I are going to take off for the weekend. But we really hope that you remember to pause for peace tonight, 9 p.m. tonight, and every night. Give yourself a little extra love, and take some time out for you to just recenter, reset, and get yourself, we all need that. As empaths, we got to let go of the unnecessary energy, and we've got to rejuvenate with some good quality energy of our choice, healthy, healing energy that our body needs. Recharge and rejuvenate daily. So do that.
Uh-oh.
What?
LJ's laughing and says she can tell. Is it that obvious? I hope it's obvious in a good way.
Then Sunday night this week, we also have the Purple Door Witch Wave. And that is free and open to the Purple Door community. It is a meditation and ritual. Lasts about an hour, 9 p.m. Eastern. We hope you join us for that. We're going to be talking about full moon energy, actually, or moon energy. And that is great, because we just had a full moon last night. But remember, like the next 3 nights, you still can capture some of that full moon energy. So don't give up. If you didn't make your moon water or put your crystals out, it's not too late. It's just not as potent as it is on the night of the extremely full moon. So let's see, what else? Is there anything else I need? Oh, and then our Wart Cutting Wednesday. We have a new herb this week. The herb is, what is the freaking herb? Bay laurel.
Bay laurel.
Bay laurel.
And I'm the high one?
I just got a lot on my mind.
I know you do.
I keep a lot of memories.
And you're like 6 herbs ahead in your head.
So Bay laurel is this week, and so head on over there. Hopefully you'll learn a little bit about bay laurel. Keep a few things in your cranium to remember. So it's good practice. I know some of us already knew these things. It's just nice to remember them and reconnect.
And if there's anything else you'd like to add to the conversation in the Herbalist Guild in regards to the herb of the week, please jump in on that.
Right. And then don't forget the first Monday of the month, which is not this coming Monday, because this coming Monday is still January. But the following Monday is our first Monday of the month live stream. And Grymm and I are going to be talking about karma, twin flames, soul relationships, you get what you pay for kind of stuff. So, so join us at that. That's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern on the first Monday of February.
I haven't heard you put it that way, but you're kind of right.
I know.
In relationship, you get what you pay for. I look forward to that one. I must have paid a lot.
You're incorrigible, Grimmer.
No, I paid a lot then. Or I got a damn good deal.
See, aren't you glad you changed the date? Because look.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That was for you, Susan.
All right.
Can you see the lanterns hanging?
Yes, I can. Those are pretty. All right, y'all. It was great to spend some time with you today. We will see you on Monday for 420-ish Tea and Tarot. We hope you have a wonderful weekend. Stay magical.
Stay magical. Silver shoe.